In this lab, we're going to add your home router to our Zabbix network monitoring. So within the Zabbix portal, go to Data Collect and select Hosts. Then select Create Host. Once selected, this pop-up will appear. Since we're going to add your router to the network monitoring, we need to check your command prompt and look up your default gateway address with ipconfig or ifconfig if you're using a Mac. Since I'm currently on Wi-Fi, I have to look for the default gateway under my Wi-Fi LAN adapter or network interface card, also known as NIC. Back on Zabbix, we'll type in router for the host name. Then for the template, we'll use ICMP pings as we don't have control to add SNMP to our ISP's router. We still do have to add an interface and select SNMP so we can add the IP address of our router though. Now let's type in the IP address of your router. We don't have SNMP on our home ISP router, so leave everything else as the default. If we had a managed switch or router that we administered, we could use SNMP to get information on its ports, like with SD-WAN. And if we gave the community string the ability to read and write, we'd even be able to shut down ports from the monitoring tool. But we don't have that kind of administration on our ISP's router, so we'll stick to simple pings. For host group, select Discovered Host. Select all the hosts and select Enable. Then click OK on the dialog box. You'll get a message at the top saying all the hosts have been enabled. Now it'll start pinging the router every minute to check if it's getting a reply from the router, meaning the status is up, which tells us it's online and available. We can create a graph also to check the status of the router, so let's go to the dashboard. Then click Edit Dashboard. Then click Add. Then, when the Add Widget dialog box appears, choose Graph as the action type. Notice how the dialog box changes. Let's name the graph Router Uptime. Then, for the dataset host pattern, select Discovered Hosts as the host group, and then select Router and press Select. Then for the item pattern, press Select. Choose ICMP Response Time. Then press Select. So what this will do is create the chart to see that the router is responding to our ICMP pings, meaning it's up. As a side note, if your computer is in sleep mode or off, the process will stop, as in your Zabbix server process won't run, meaning it won't ping the router. So if you shut down your computer or it goes to sleep, you may see that pings start up again once you open the application. At a company, this would be on an always on server, so the services would always be on. Now, back to the graph. Let's click Add to add the new chart to the dashboard. And let's drag the chart widget all the way to the top. And stretch it out before clicking Save Changes. If the dropdown is open at the top, click that 1 hour tab and it'll close it up. Now we have a nice dashboard monitoring the uptime of the router. You'll see plenty of these uptime charts as a network admin, because if something goes wrong, we have to get informed to troubleshoot it. Which leads us to the last thing we want to do while we're here in Zabbix, and that's alerts, which we'll cover in the next part of the lab. See you there.